Hello everyone, Joe Neat here, executive producer, back after a 1-week absence, and thanks very much to Drew Stevens for stepping in reluctantly to film last week's video. So firstly, I wanted to give you an update on what's coming in this week's build. So again, quite a lot of quality of life improvements. So firstly, one of the kind of headline things is discarding unwanted voyages. So players now have the ability to do that rather than having to kind of put them down for voting and then cancel them. So hopefully that's going to make things a lot swifter for people when they just want to get rid of something and acquire a new voyage. Alongside that, aim sensitivity sliders, which has been something that's been oft requested from players. And so what we've got now is there's 3 separate sliders. So for the Eye of Reach, for the Blunderbuss, and for the Flintlock, you can now set the sensitivity, and that's on both PC and on Xbox. Really hoping players are going to kind of make a lot of use of that, and it's definitely been something that a lot of people have been asking for. And then finally, colorblind accessibility. So really happy that we've done some work here on the X marks the spot maps. There's now a setting where if you go and change it, it will change from being this red X to being a kind of white one with a black outline, which we believe for people with red-green kind of color blindness, it will really help them identify those X's on treasure maps, kind of up against the background and everything else. So really cool that we've managed to do some work on that. Really just a first step for us as we continue to improve our game from an accessibility perspective. So there's a lot more actually in this week's build, but those are kind of the highlights for me. Alongside that, wanted to hit a couple of topics from last week, really. So one of the issues we had with last week's build was that handing each other kind of items underwater could result in a crash. So we rolled back, we kind of took that out, but then as we went through the week, we actually discovered that there was some more instability that had been introduced by some of the new features. And so we had a little bit of kind of unplanned kind of server and maintenance windows and everything, and we had to temporarily disable some of the features. We have turned on open and close cruise again. We have turned on the kind of hidden nameplates underwater. We're re-enabling the ability to hand resources to each other and stuff because we've solved that problem with the underwater crash. So yeah, really excited to get that back out to players. But it really proved to us that some of the work that we've been doing behind the scenes in getting ready to bring back Pioneer testing is something that we really want to focus on and accelerate, because it really helped us, especially kind of on the run-up to launch for Sea of Thieves. During our kind of insider program with Pioneers, we could get stuff out really early, we could test it, we could get a really good feel for if the kind of new stuff that was coming into the game was working, was stable. We could also get early feedback from players. So we've been doing a lot of work on kind of resurrecting a Pioneer program, but that's slightly different for, that's reflective of the fact that we're in a new environment now. We're in a live thing with a release game. So we're nearly there for that. So that will be coming back soon, and we'll have more details to share on that shortly. One of the other things that we've been looking at since launch, actually, we've had some people kind of investigating this. It's quite a lengthy kind of process to really understand what's going on, is the topic of anyone that's cheating in Sea of Thieves. So this is anyone that's kind of using a third-party software to get an advantage. So, whether that's like using something that has aimbots or something that allows you to kind of gain an advantage in PvP. All of our investigations tell us is there's a very small proportion of people that are using any third-party software to gain an advantage in Sea of Thieves. But really we're in the stage now where we're looking at the data, we can identify with kind of 100% confidence who is doing this, what kind of advantage they're getting, and so we're really just kind of finalising the details on that, and then we will be adopting what we've said before, which is a zero tolerance approach to this. So anybody that we can prove that is using third-party software to gain an advantage, we will be rolling out bans. So that will be coming fairly soon. We'll have more to share on that, but we're really just in the final stages. And that will be anybody that has been using this since the start of Sea of Thieves, basically since Sea of Thieves launched. So yeah, it's a very small proportion of players, but like we've always said, we're going to have a zero tolerance approach to this. So we will have more information to share on that soon. And so finally, just a little bit about next week. So next week we released The Hungering Deep. So we obviously released our kind of teaser trailer that we accidentally called a trailer last week. We will name stuff better in the future. We're really excited about this. The team's working super hard on it right now as I record this video, just to kind of finalise the final bits of it. We're really excited to be bringing kind of new content to Sea of Thieves in this way. So there's a bunch of new features coming in this update, but we're running this kind of cool campaign around it where there's an NPC, Merrick, that you will have seen, who's going to be giving you a bit of kind of an introduction to this content that's coming and setting you on this kind of cool little quest to go and kind of uncover it. And there's going to be time-limited rewards and kind of cosmetics and everything else around this. And we're really looking forward to kind of how that goes down with players, how many people kind of get through it, how many people get the rewards. But then when that time-limited kind of campaign ends, all of those features that we've brought in, you know, the new AI threat and everything that's kind of supporting that, they're all kind of remaining in the world from that point on. And that's how we plan to approach the kind of campaigns and the content updates that we have kind of moving forward. But myself and Mike Chapman, our design director, will be recording a video this week, I think will be coming out kind of later this week, really talking about our plans in more detail about how we plan to approach kind of campaigns, how we plan to approach weekly events, because I think it's like super important to how we plan to run Sea of Thieves and grow and update it and evolve it, because you know, I think we're doing something a little bit different, but I think something that's really going to work for what Sea of Thieves is and the experience that we have. So we're really excited about that. But as always, with everything that we do, we'll be testing stuff with our players. So you know, with the Hungry Deep campaign, we'll put it out. We'll test how people are getting through it. We'll be looking at feedback, at telemetry. We'll take kind of feedback from players, and we'll make tweaks while it's live. And then we'll also be looking at applying kind of those lessons and everything to our updates and campaigns moving forward. So yeah, it's a really exciting time for us. This kind of first step into really updating and growing Sea of Thieves. So yeah, we'll look forward to how that goes and getting everyone's thoughts and feedback, and we'll see you out in the seas. Cheers.
Like and share if you enjoy the video and think others might benefit from this, and of course subscribe and hit the notification button if you are new to the channel and want to be notified every time I post a video.